Linda M is asking, what is the current best social media platforms to use? So as of right now, the hottest social media platforms these are the top three. And so the first one is going to be Facebook Reels. So Facebook Reels is making a comeback. This is almost like a TikTok on Facebook. And Instagram has Instagram Reels, Facebook has Facebook Reels. And so I think in the past 2 months, 2 to 3 months, I had over 150,000 people see my post. That's how powerful Facebook Reels is right now. And so Facebook Reels is number one. YouTube has something called YouTube Shorts. So YouTube Shorts is also another competitor to TikTok. So you can post on YouTube Shorts. You can also post long form video. And so that's why I really like YouTube, is you don't just post, people aren't going to YouTube just for the long videos that everybody's used to. They're now going for the quick 60-second videos. And based on that, they click on that, they watch that short video, and then they really like it. They go to your main channel and watch the full videos that you have. So you build a deeper relationship with your audience on YouTube. And then number 3 is going to be TikTok. So those are the 3 hottest platforms right now. Now, of course, if you're talking about B2B, business to business, LinkedIn, you got to add LinkedIn in there. That's still the number 1 B2B platform. But these overall are the best platforms to use. Jamil is asking, what is the best way to build product or brand stickiness through digital experiences with customers? So essentially what Jamil is asking is, how do you just build a better relationship with your audience, right? Related to your business. So the more places you can be on, the better. So you got to be what I call omni-channel. So omni-channel is not just focused on one platform. You got to have many different platforms that you're using. The more platforms, the better. So let's say you have a following on LinkedIn. Well, that's great, but what about all the other platforms, right? What if you can have that relationship with that one person on Facebook, and then also on YouTube, and they watch you on Instagram, and they watch you on Twitter, and they're subscribed to your email list, and they're subscribed to your text list. So the more places, the better. That increases the relationship that you have with them, and the more likely they're going to come to you whenever they need your product and service. So that's how you build stickiness, is you are as many places as possible. So that's number 1. Number 2 is going to be volume. So the more they see you, the better, right? So that's why companies spend so much money trying to be seen as many times in a day, right? Think about McDonald's. How many times are they trying to remember McDonald's on the radio, on a billboard, on social media, on TV, on streaming, through email, they're everywhere. And they do that because they want you to think of them next time you want their, a cheeseburger or some fries, right? And so think of it that way. The more content, the more volume you can have, the more likely they're going to stick with you. Adam C is asking how to use AI for voiceover work on video project, and also using it with different languages. So that's the tool I mentioned earlier. 11 Labs is probably going to be your best bet for voiceover work for video projects. That's the most, in my opinion, the most accurate one so far out of all the other ones out there. And there's a ton. Okay, there's dozens and dozens of them. 11 Labs seem to have the most accurate one as far as voiceover work. And also Synthesia is creating their own digital twin of you. There's not that many tools that are doing that, where it creates a second doppelganger of yourself, and so if you want a digital twin of yourself, then check out Synthesia. Okay, so Kat M is asking how to be authentic with AI marketing. That's a really good question. How to be authentic with AI marketing. If you're using AI, it's a watered down version of yourself. If you're talking about 100% authenticity, you're not going to get that through AI, because you can't replicate yourself. You can't clone yourself, right? That clone is not going to be 100% you. It's not going to have the same DNA. And so understand that it's going to be a watered down version of you. Now, the question is, how can you still make it as much like you as possible? That's where you go into giving the AI tool as much description about who you are as possible. So let's use ChatGPT, for example. If you're going to use ChatGPT to create content, you can tell ChatGPT to adjust the language and the words to how you would write it. If I'm using ChatGPT to create me a LinkedIn post about marketing, I can say, write me a post about marketing with someone that has a specific personality type. Okay, and my personality type, if you know your personality type, you can plug it into ChatGPT and it will make it sound like that personality type. So I use Myers-Briggs. My type is INFJ. I can tell ChatGPT to create the post in a voice of someone who has a personality type of INFJ, right? Or maybe there are adjectives that describe you. Maybe you're bold, maybe you're funny, maybe you're sarcastic. You can tell ChatGPT to use those adjectives to put in to write the article or post within that way. So the more descriptive you can be to the AI tool about who you are, the better. Okay, so Eva G is asking, how can AI be used to market my services? So a few ways. The first way is to use AI to better understand your audience, okay, who you're targeting. And so let's say you don't really know who the best person is for your product and service. You can use AI tools to do that research. So you can say, hey, AI tool, I own an accounting business. Who would be the best type of person that would need my services? And then give it more description, be as descriptive as possible, right? So, my business does this amount of revenue. I am in Sacramento, California. I've been in business for this many years. Here are my different services, right? Give it some context, because if you're going to be very general, it's going to give you a general result. So the more context you can give it, the better. And so after you put those descriptions in, it will give you a descriptive answer. And it could tell you who the best person that would need your services or products are. And then you can use them many other ways after that. So you can have it, let's say social media posts ideas, right? You can have it create different marketing ideas or campaigns related to targeting that specific buyer. You can have it create the copy. So let's say you're making an ad, right? You can tell the AI tool to create an ad for you. And then you can use the other AI tools I mentioned to create the videos and the narration and sound effects of that ad. So think about the beginning of the process and then work your way towards the end of the process. So the beginning is the strategy work, who you're targeting, who you're going after. The middle part is the different ideas to reach out to them. And then the later part is the actual execution. So creating the post, creating the graphic, creating the videos to target those people. Ray S is asking how to avoid repetitive tasks. So I would definitely use Notion AI if you want to avoid repetitive tasks, because the thing about Notion is the more it does your work, the more the assistant does your work, the better it gets at it. So it starts to learn more efficient ways. And it will also learn from other people that have the same task. So unlike a virtual assistant whose only job is to work on your work, the AI tool is also working on everybody else's work and is learning from other people's work, and it's going to, the benefits it reaps will be added on to your work because it's learned from other people and made a bunch of other mistakes on other people's work, right? Or maybe on your work too. So it gets better as it goes. And so that's how I would avoid repetitive tasks, is use something like Notion AI and put all of the repetitive tasks that you have into there and see what Notion AI can do with those tasks. And so that will save you, just by doing that, it will probably save you right off the bat a few hours a week by having Notion AI do that for you. Okay, so Linda M is asking, how many times should we post per day? I'm assuming on social media. So it depends. It depends what your goals are. If your goal is just to stand out from your competitors, then posting 1 time a day is fine, or a few times a week, 3 to 4 times a week is fine. Now, if your ambition for social media is to really grow, to build an audience, to build more brand awareness to your business, to get more visibility for your business, then I recommend that you should be posting more than that. You should be posting anywhere between 2 to 5 times a day. I personally post about 4 times a day, sometimes 5 times a day, across 5 or 6 different platforms. And And so if you add up all the posts, that's like 162 posts a week. And so that's almost like, that's almost like 500 posts per month, 600 posts per month. And the reason why I do that is because I want to build an audience. I want to build more business, for my business. It depends what your goals are. And then also the length of when you do it. So someone who has been posting, let's say 4 times a week, or 4 times a day for years, is going to have an advantage because that audience compounds itself, right? Once you have, let's say 10,000 followers, those 10,000 followers are going to share your product and service to everybody that they know, right? But if you only have one person following you or 100 people following you, not everybody's going to share it, and you don't have the benefits of the compounding effect. So the longer you do it, it's going to get easier and easier and easier because now you have scale and you can have people share your product and services. The hardest part is going to be when you get started. And so if you're only posting for a few months, it's going to feel like you've been posting for a long time and nothing's coming. But just understand, you got to be doing it for over a year. The longer you do it, the more results you're going to get.